Time for another episode of Ever Roaming. Hey, squirrel. What are you doing? We have a bunch of squirrels that live in our yard or around the neighborhood. And there's some beautiful birds starting to migrate through. Time for another episode of Ever Roaming. I want to thank you all for your patience yesterday. The quality wasn't so great. I've never done a live video, but I felt really bad that I didn't get those other two up like I had hoped before I left for Tahiti, and I just wanted to give you all an update. So I thank you for your patience. So today's episode is going to be the day 2 of the 3-day trip that I did from Scissors Crossing to Warner Springs. I start at, I believe I camped the first night about mile 80, I want to say 84.7, I could be wrong. And then I camped above Ranchita at mile 96.5, I believe. And I think I put some mileage markers in the video to show you. And then you're going to see the water cache in this section. This is a really, really dry section between Scissors Crossing, where there's a water cache under the bridge, and there's a water cache at mile, I think it's 91, that's pretty famous. As a matter of fact, the sign for that water is on the PCTA's website on the water report page. So it's pretty well known. When you get to that area, it's good to bring a little cash to put a donation in the bin, or you can Venmo them. But some really nice people keep a beautifully stocked water cache there, and you'll see that in the video as well. Some other things to note in this section, depending on the time of year you're there, it can be monsoon season if you're there in May or June. June would be a little late to be doing this section, but May is when I was there, and it was hold for plane. And the squirrels chasing each other. So when I went back to do this section, it was about mid-May, so it was really, really hot during the day. So I highly recommend also doing an afternoon siesta, which I tried to do one afternoon during the day 2, and then there was thunderstorms like brewing, and I could hear the thunder, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. But it was a gorgeous section, very windy along the ridges and very hot in the afternoon. So try to find a spot. It's kind of tough. Some of it's very exposed and like just a chaparral sagebrush, desert sagebrush type terrain. But if you can find a spot to take a little afternoon siesta, it'd be a good idea. Of course, I want to remind you to like this channel and subscribe and hit the little bell down there so you get notified when I put out a new video. Hopefully every Friday. As we know, that may not always happen, but I will update you when it doesn't. But please feel free to link up with me on social media, also on the Instagram and the Facebook. And then if you're looking for information on the products that I carry or the gear that I carry, there are gear lists below, and there's an affiliate link in those gear lists. Doesn't cost you anything extra, but Amazon gives me just a tiny percentage of that if you purchase through those links, and it helps support this channel. Let's go backpacking.
All right, so I'll give you some morning views now that I'm not walking on the edge of a cliff and there's no wind here, so you can hear me. The wind actually this morning had died down, but yesterday I was trying to film the cliff and along those edges, but it was so windy and sketchy. So I kept tripping. I had to keep keeping an eye on my feet. So obviously I'm not going to film. Now we've dipped down to the other side. Don't know how long that's going to be. To the east of the other valley. Yeah, cruising this morning. Got an early start, trying to make miles. I want to get to the water source before noon, and that's 6.5 miles from where I camped last night. All right, see you later. All right, it's been not quite 2 hours, and here's my namesake, hummingbird. And hike from way over there down into that valley, and then up this huge climb. So I'm making really good time, and this view is amazing. Whew. Turned it off for a sec because there was a hiker. I didn't want to be polite, but I got my sun umbrella up. Loving this thing. Even if it's not like completely over me, it still cools the air around me. So it's a godsend, especially on this exposed terrain. but hopefully the breeze won't kick up too much before I get to the water cache, which is about another 3 miles. And then I'm gonna take a very long break, take my shoes off. And that'll be 6.5 miles for the morning. And then I'm gonna try to crank out another 6 this afternoon. We'll see. We'll see how my feet are doing. Oh, there's another hiker. I'm almost to the water cache. Just stopped here at this little spot. Found some shade. Just having a snack bar. It's a warm one. Every time I get a little lightheaded, I'm like, okay, it's time for a sail bar and some water. And just take in the views. So beautiful. I can't say it enough. Now, for some prescription nature. So I made it to the water cache. It was downhill, so which means after I load up, I gotta go uphill. But then I made my own shade. Just chilling. I'm not sure where these people are going down. Maybe they're gonna go take a break. But there is a ton of water over there under the tarps and a cool recycling bin. And there's some puffy clouds looking ominous. As long as I make shade and not thunder, lightning, I'm good. Got my feet out, airing out. Good spot. Just chilling. Kicking in. There's somebody over there. Big climb after the water cache. So there's a dirt road down there, and that's where the water cache was. And then there's this crazy long, I don't know, it was like 2.3 miles to climb up this hill, but it's just all switchbacks and twists and turns. It was a beautiful day, beautiful view. Alright, so I think I did like another 5 miles after the water cache, which is at 91.1. I think I'm at 96 miles now. And this is the view where I'm having dinner. And I've got my tent set up over there. The sun's setting behind me, but I'm behind the bush because it's been so hot and I don't want to get fried. But anyway, that's the little town of Ranchita. Somewhere over there. Yeah. So I was also on a ridge today and just taking a little like snooze under a bush. And all of a sudden it started thundering and I was like, ah! So I hurried along and I finally made it up here. I would have gone a little further, but my feet hurt and the next campsite is like 4 miles to the water also.